Hey guys, Creator Mom. So I just want to say that if you have a narcissistic parent, um, please don't wait to go no contact with them. Don't be like me. No, because see, what I thought was that I was supposed to try to overcome them. That I was supposed to try to get along with them when I wasn't really necessarily the problem. Now, they will tell you that you're the problem. They will, absolutely. And there comes a time when you have to start believing yourself over believing them, because your whole life you've believed them because they're your parent. That's the hard thing. You're trained to believe them, you know, for the most part, to believe their opinion over your own. But obviously, as you get older and you get validated by learning about what this disorder of narcissism is and shit like that, you become more validated, and then you start paying attention to your body as well. You're like, shit, why do I feel like this when I'm around this person? Why does my adrenaline just start going off like I'm gonna be attacked by a bear? Like, why am I freezing, or why is my fight or flight hormones going off? Well, the body doesn't lie. And then you start to validate yourself, and you're like, okay, and sometimes maybe you go no contact for a little bit and but you're still not sure. You still don't know about narcissism. You still don't know that this is the way things are, that there is no changing. They are not going to get nicer. They hate you. Everything you fucking do is wrong. And they have no qualms cussing you the fuck out. You probably have never you probably never cussed your narcissistic parent out, or called them a name or something like that, but they have no issues with doing it to you. None at all. They own you. It's such a thing to unload and unpack, and don't be afraid to get therapy either, because I feel like that is something that's really, you need to get as much stuff, for support as possible. Yeah, you need as much support as possible. You need to start believing yourself. Stop gaslighting your own self. Pay attention to how you feel around this person, and don't be afraid to go no contact. And I think that's one of the major barriers to overcome, is when you finally start setting up the boundaries and saying no. You can say no to them. You can do it. But yeah, like having a therapist or something like that to role play with, or a good friend to role play with, will help you increase your courage. You won't feel so alone. You'll just, it'll help you. What else did I want to say? You might feel like you're gonna die when you face the narcissistic rage, but then you find out that you're not dead. You're still alive, and that you do recover from those initial emotions that happen when you encounter the narcissistic rage. You're gonna go through the emotions of it. You're gonna experience it, and it's gonna feel crazy. It's gonna feel like you're a failure. It's gonna feel hopeless. It's gonna feel so many different feelings. But then you just observe it. You say, yup, I feel this way. I feel that way. Yup, that's part of the programming of it all. And then after a while, you may say, well, I feel better. Like, I think the more little baby steps we take in saying no, the better, or maybe the quicker we recover, maybe. What else I want to say here? I don't want to ramble on too much longer, but yeah, cut them off before you have kids, because you don't, not people that you really want around your kids, really. And then they'll use that against you too, They'll use everything against you because they're committed to misunderstanding you. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, cut them off now. Cut them off before you have kids. Don't really let them have access to your kids. I think that's about it. But, oh yeah, to go back to what I was saying in the beginning, I used to think that I had to overcome this person. Like I had to love them, just love them, or something. It's just like, they're fine. I don't hate them, or it's all good. They can exist. I will not think about this person with hate in my heart all of my life. I will just be glad that I never speak to them again and that I've gotten away from them. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Hey, that's love right there. Love yourself. Love yourself. Maybe that's what it's about. Not loving the narcissist. Oh, I gotta overcome this and really be like a strong Christian and love the narcissist. No. Love yourself is being strong. Love yourself and be strong enough to make boundaries and say no to them. That's strong. That's strong. And I'm not saying that you're weak if you haven't done that. I'm not saying, it's just this weird mindset, especially I think among Christians and among people, new agey people too. Like, oh, you are love. Oh, it's, deal with difficult people. Yeah, hey, I admit that having a narcissistic parent probably was a good training ground for dealing with other difficult people, because I understand, and this was one of my limiting things too, like, well, I'm going to have to deal with this type of personality wherever I go anyway, so whatever, it's good practice. No, I'm not going to submit myself to that anymore. I've had enough practice, and this is good though, because with the narcissistic parent, you have practice saying no, you have practice going no contact, you have practice facing their narcissistic rage, which is good, because you find out it won't kill you, and you find out that you're stronger now, or you find your strength or whatever. But yeah, maybe they were a good training ground for dealing with so-called difficult people. But if there is a person that, I mean, God, if there's a person you don't have to deal with, I say, like, dealing with like a coworker who's insane, or a boss. I mean, that either, because you can always find another job also. You know what I mean? But I understand this notion of not wanting to run from a narcissist, like you want to face them, but when you go no contact, and when you tell them no, and when you face their rage, that, that is overcoming. Hey, that's overcoming.